Hi everybody, in the previous video we've shown how to include a non-migrated control into a specific screen and extend it with the bind visible and all the other functionalities. Now we've used a control extender that is designed for sporadic usage. You can use it when you're using a control only once or twice. But if you want to use a control in more than that, if you want to use it all across your application, we wanted it to be easier. And basically the idea is to create a base control that you'll use and then use it within your application. So let's start creating our scenario and see how we do that. So we'll add a new folder, we'll call it dev demo, and add a new item, and we'll call it demo tab. So here we are in our screen. Let's add a public, just column A and column B. And we'll go to a screen and we want to use the Windows tab control. So we'll go over to common controls, grab a tab control, or search for a tab control, drop it on our screen, and we can use it. But it doesn't have the advanced anchor or bind visible or recompute like we use, and we don't want it. We want it to be stronger than that. Well, how would we do that? So as I said, the goal is to create a base control that will have all of these properties. So let's have a look for it. Let's create our own controls, and in it will add a new item. We'll use the template called user control and we'll call it our tab control. Of course, we'll trust the template, we created it, and this is the template's code. There's a lot of wiring here that makes sure that everything connects properly, and there's all of the properties and events here that you may want, like bind width or bind visible. We hide those in the region because you just don't need to touch them, you can just use it as it is. The main thing to know here is to decide the control from which you're inheriting. Here we wanted the tab control, so we're using System Windows Forms tab control, and that's the default, but you can put any other control here and you'll get all of the control properties. So let's build our project, go back to our designer, we'll delete the tab control that was here to begin with, and we'll add our own tab control to the toolbox. So we'll go to Noam's tab here, we'll click Add Controls to Toolbox, we'll choose our DLL, in this case the Northwind DLL where the tab control, our tab control exists. We'll find our controls, init our tab controls, and add it to the toolbox. Perfect, and now we can drag it over here. And as you can see, it looks exactly like it did before, but now it has a lot of powerful new features. For example, it now has bind events. So I can select the control, look at the events, and see all the bind events that we like to use. Let's continue this use case. Let's go ahead and add the columns that we want to use on our screen. Place column A here, and place column B here. Perfect. Let's also add a visible column so we can see that recompute actually works. We'll go to our demo tab. We'll add a bool column, show tab. We'll go to our screen. Great. And in the tab control itself, we can use the bind properties event to say our tab control our tab control, it's not what I meant, not bind properties, but I meant the bind visible, and say e.value equals controller dot show tab. Let's run this. And the tab is not visible, we'll change it to true, the tab will become visible, and as you can see, we can park and work on the fields just as we wanted. So if you want to use any control, we can use dev express type controls, or we can use any third-party controls and extend them with the functionality that we like bind visible and recompute, bind properties, placement, or advanced encode. All of those will be available to you if you follow this pattern. If you want to get this snippet, please contact us. We'll be happy to send it to you. And hope you enjoy this video. In later videos, we will do data-bound controls and list-bound controls. Cheers!